What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always. A little Friday edition, man. Too much stuff is going on. We had to hop on the mic. We had to talk about the NFL quarterback carousel. It's going crazy right now. People moving all over the place. People talking about giving mediocre guys $20+ million. It's a lot of stuff going on, so we're going to touch on that. Last night, Sixers, Nets. It was one of the most anticipated regular season games, at least for me, in quite a long time. So I was excited about that. And I want a little cheddar, man. We was on the Nets live. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about KD. We'll talk about James. We'll talk about Embiid, all that stuff. We'll get into some more NBA. We'll talk about the Khalil Mack trade as well. He went to San Diego. It's him and Bosa now teamed up. He went over to the Chargers for a 2, a 6, and they took a bunch of money. Good deal, bad deal. We will talk about all that. Stay locked with us. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago Friday, baby.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's goody?
What's going on, man? I'm out here trying to find my second job to pay for this gas.
You see, I got the Cubs hat on, baseball back, man.
Baseball back, yep.
Baseball's back, so I had to throw the little Cubbies on. Yo, I got a question for you. What's up, Cody, in the comments, man? I got always watching.
Cody always rocks with us, even on a Friday. Shout out Cody,
man. Shout out Cody. Hey, I got a question, quick.
Yeah.
So I just dropped off my lady. By the way, she's not slick. She's been driving my car the last, I don't even know how long. And I get it back, motherfucker, on dead E. Light, I'm talking about light, and it says like 6 miles to fill up. I'm like, I see.
This ain't the week for it.
I see the finesse. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's my girl, so it's whatever. But I got a question for you. So on the way back, I stopped at ChickfilA. Where are you at on this chicken and breakfast, bro? Like chicken on the breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, so here's the thing, man. If you can pull it off, so I'll tell you this. There was a few years ago, McDonald's used to do what was called the Southern Fried Chicken Biscuit. And it was a piece of like fried chicken.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, on their biscuit though, right? And like they discontinued. I don't know. It was different chicken than they used for anything else though. I'm trying to tell you, this shit was so fire. And like prior to that, I had never really been on the whole chicken for breakfast thing. But since then, like, yeah, absolutely. If you can pull it off right, if the crispiness level is correct, it's just like chicken and waffles, man. You gotta have that right little balance there. And if it tastes good, you're good to go. Absolutely.
Listen, bro.
You can't do it?
They can have that shit.
Oh, you're tweaking.
I give me the sausage and the bacon way.
Of course.
But listen, bro, I stopped at Chick-fil-A. I got the chicken biscuit. My people down south can keep that. That whole breakfast entree they could keep.
It was whack.
The biscuit, it's fine. Like it was okay, but give me the egg, give me the sausage, give me a piece of cheese. What I just had from Chick-fil-A was a piece of chicken with a biscuit, and that was it, bro.
Look,
I'm good. Y'all can keep that. All my people in Atlanta and North Florida and all that, y'all can keep that. Y'all can keep the chicken biscuit for breakfast, bro. I'm good.
The sausage and egg McMuffin is still undefeated as a piece of breakfast.
No McMuffins either, bro. Give me the biscuit.
What?
Cut the shit with the
Mc. Sausage, cut the shit. Sausage and egg McMuffin with the hash brown is it.
No,
game over.
Cut the shit. It's a biscuit is the best play. And if you really if you're really on it, what you do is you take the top biscuit off, you eat the sausage, egg, and cheese on one side, and then put some jelly on the other side. Bang, get a little jelly.
So you're out here like deconstructing the McDonald's sandwich and trying to. I don't got time for all that, man. I'm grabbing that out of the drive-thru on the way to get where I'm going. I'm taking what they give me and I'm eating it. Give me the McMuffin, man. If anybody's with us, go in the comments. Are you McMuffin or are you biscuit?
It's not even close.
Do you put jelly on it afterwards? Like what is this? Sean's over here pulling over. Come on, man.
Strawberry jelly, it's a wrap.
Man. Just
it's gotta be strawberry too.
Eat it. Just have it ready. Where are you on the hash brown? Is McDonald's the best hash brown ever?
Any hash brown I'm with. Actually, it's funny you say that because I've been having, the Trader Joe's.
We have them at the crib. Yeah,
I've been eating those. They're really good, bro. So I've been eating those. And then when I just got a hash brown at Chick-fil-A, I got the little pieces.
How was theirs?
They're fine, but you could tell, like, I've been making the Trader Joe's joints in the air fryer.
Yeah.
So when I got them like really fried, I could taste the oil super tough. So I didn't really enjoy that. But any hash brown, I'm good.
For sure.
Yeah, Cody said biscuit all day. He already know what time.
Come on, Cody, man. Don't let me down like that,
Cody
man.
Know what time it is.
It's a McMuffin.
A McMuffin. I'm straight off a muffin.
Give me that McMuffin.
That's blueberry.
Give me that egg McMuffin.
All right, let's get into it. What are we leading off with? The NFL quarterback carousel. I just completely short-circuited, blanked.
Why don't we start with the game?
You want to start with the game?
Yeah, that happened. That's fresh in everybody's mind.
You want to start with Sixers Nets last night? What were your thoughts, man?
Going
into the game, Ben Simmons. It was the Ben Simmons saga, but that was like a footnote after the game started.
It really was, because once the game started, they were getting thrashed, and it was pretty much you couldn't even focus on it anymore. But yeah, I mean, obviously the game was super hype. We knew it. We marked it on the calendar. We marked it on the calendar before that trade happened because we knew the trade was going to go down. So obviously everyone had this circle. It was clear that he wasn't going to play about a week ago, right? Once they started talking about what was it, his thumb or whatever's going on with him, I'm not sure. Whichever part of his body isn't feeling well enough to play at this point after 60 games. But whatever, he wasn't going to play, but obviously a ton of hype. You had the Philly fans waiting outside the Four Seasons, calling him a turkey. You know what I'm saying? Selling T-shirts to say he's a dickhead, all types of stuff like that. So obviously the Philly fans were going to show out. They said the tickets were going for $4,000 in the lower bowl. Like
they said the last row they wanted $200
to sit up top on some standing room only, pretty much. But as far as the game went, man, the Nets came out and just smacked them and really never looked back. Like there was never a spot where you thought that Philly was going to go for a run, right? Like I was hoping that they would. I was like, okay, maybe in the third quarter they're going to come out and try to do something. They came out after the half flat, and the Nets looked like they came out that game motivated. Like they wanted to show everybody, like, look, this is what it looks like when it's KD and Kyrie, because they don't really get to play together too often. Yeah. This is what it looks like when we're motivated. And KD said after the game we're riding. Yeah, KD said after the game we're riding for Ben. Obviously, Drummond was fired up. I mean, him and Embiid were teammates, but they obviously had a beef going back several years. So he looked like he was ready to go. And on the Philly side, I don't know what it is with Harden, man. Like sometimes, like we talk about it, he is elite level check in or check out. Like if he's in, it's elite. If he's out, it looks like last night where he just didn't look like he was even interested in playing that game at all, which is kind of crazy. But, I mean, shout out to the Nets. They smacked them up, and they show what they can look like at full strength when you got two of the best players in the world. For whatever we want to say about Kyrie, vaccination, calling the media peons, saging people, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, his weird little Instagram videos and all that. He's a brilliant basketball player, magnificent basketball player.
Yeah,
just had 50 the other night on what, like 14
17
shots? 17 shots. You know what I mean? So like
50 on 17.
Never been done before. So obviously, when those two guys are clicking, and KD is KD, and enough said, right? Like when those two guys are clicking, forget about it.
This is my take on the little Harden thing. And I've noticed this a few times. First of all, last night did not help with the narrative that he gets little in big games, because last night was a big game. It was big hype. And guess who came out firing from the start? It was Kevin Durant, and he never looked back. He let people on notice early that, hey, I'm locked in. I'm about to come down. He started the game 4 for 4 in the first quarter. And it was all top of the key jumpers, and the net didn't move at all. It was all net, everything, right? One thing I've noticed about Harden, and I won't throw a sweeping generalization, but at least last night, when he started going to the baskets, when he started going to the basket and wasn't getting any calls, it threw off his whole shit.
He checked out.
He seems to get frustrated by that very, very, I don't want to say easily, but it throws him off for the rest of the game. He doesn't continue to stay aggressive and try to go to the basket and continue to go to the buck over and over again. When he's not getting those looks early, he starts to feel like, all right, they're not giving me these calls. They're not going to call tonight. It's the refs against Harden tonight, and I'm going to have to try to get it some other way. Then he started taking a lot of tough jump shots. I think he ended the game like 5 of 17 or something like that. So I did notice that from last night. Once they stopped giving him the calls early, or didn't give him any calls early, he kind of got a little gun shy on trying to go to the basket as much as he typically would.
Which has been kind of the case. Remember at the beginning of the season, he was really struggling when the league was clearly like, I mean, you remember the first like 20 games
changed
where
the
it was
rules?
like,
yeah.
They sent a Trae Young and James Harden memo and basically said, do not call fouls. And also Lillard was affected by that too. It's like, listen, just don't call fouls with these guys. Like you can do whatever you want to Trae Young and James Harden for the first 20 games of the year because we're not going to call any of these fouls. And I think that there's some carryover of that, but that's kind of how he's looked all year. If you look at his numbers, even since he's gotten in Philly, he's had a couple big scoring games, but it's not like the 40-point James Harden that we're used to, right? Like he kind of has scaled his game back to be more of a facilitator. That's why when they played against the Bulls the other day, I was like, okay, this is what it's going to look like for him, right? He might go out there and only try to get 20, but he's going to get 14, 15 assists. He's going to get everybody involved. He's going to be the maestro out there. So even beyond scoring last night, he didn't seem too interested in even running the team the way that they needed to be ran, right?
It's just a bad
It just
game.
looked completely different. Yeah, and it's just like you do got to wonder why in some of these spots when the lights are the brightest, he does tend to shrink or just look like he doesn't want to be there. Like it's one thing to have a bad game. I'll use Tatum as an example, right? Like Tatum will go 1 for 20. You know what I mean? But like it's not like he looks disinterested. Like he thinks the 19 shots going in just like the 20 shots going in. He's going to take it. Whereas with Harden, it's just like it looks like he's disinterested after a while or like he doesn't want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this isn't going my way, man. Fuck this. You know what I mean? Right. I don't care how big the moment is. Like, fuck this. So, yeah, I think that's an interesting thing to kind of keep an eye on because obviously this team's going to have a ton of pressure, a ton of expectations going forward, and they're going to play in big spots. And if that's how it's going to be, then it'll be interesting. But I'm not overreacting to it, though.
Yeah, no, me neither. I think, well, because we talked about it in the group chat last night. This guy, Embiid, is a real fucking living monster.
Yeah, he's a monster.
he's a monster for real.
And he was 5 for 17 last night, which will never happen again.
Yeah.
Never happen again. You know what I mean? 19 times at the line, but yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
He is a real, no, that was all. Yeah, he's a real living monster. Like, we talk about people all the time. Oh, that dude's a beast. He's this. He's no. This is what a real beast looks like.
And
every time he catches the ball down there, he's going to score, or you're going to foul him. Yep. That's it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And he was 5 of 17, and 2 of those were threes.
Right.
So
15 and 19 from the line, 19 times at the line and so it's like we talked about this the other day. Like usually your philosophy with a big is hack, right? Because you assume they can't shoot free throws. Yeah. He's an 85% free throw shooter, so you can foul him all you want to. It's an automatic 2 points. And again, he's never going to go 5 for 17 again, ever. Like that's just not going to happen. He still had 27 and 12. He still looked dominant. And he knows, like, we rip on Vooch about, like, yo, sometimes as a big, you just got to realize you're the biggest, strongest dude on the floor and act that way. That's not a problem with Joe. Not a problem at all.
He carries himself that way as well.
Yeah, like, I'm that guy. I'm the biggest dude out here. I'm going to inflict pain, but I'm also extremely skilled, and I'm aware of that too. So I can take it physical with you. I can hit you with the finesse. I can put it on the floor. You know what I mean? I can do whatever it is. So, yeah, he's not going to play that way again. That's why I kind of write this one off. And obviously, look, man, the Nets came in there crazy motivated.
Yeah, they were
way more motivated than Philly was.
Yeah, they were on him from the jump.
They were on him from the jump. They've been hearing it at the hotel room. KD was walking behind Ben Simmons when they were calling him a turkey. So he's hearing that too. He's like, don't worry, Ben, we got you, man. Like, we're going to take care of this. And KD, he took that shit personally.
That's what it seemed like. And I think he also gets fired up to play Embiid.
Yeah,
that's fun. It was a fun game in the beginning to start the game last night. It was a lot of fun. Let me ask you this. Were you more encouraged, or I know you were more encouraged, but how encouraged were you to see Brooklyn play that way with just 2 of the 3? They haven't even added Simmons yet. Seth Curry looked sensational last night. He's a real problem. And that was an underdeveloped storyline going into the game. Yo, he was on Philly too. He wants to bust them too.
His father-in-law traded him.
His father-in-law traded him.
You ain't seeing the grandkid?
Yeah, exactly.
He can't come through the crib. What? No, he traded me.
And he came through there and fired on Philly.
Well, look, man, I've been saying that since they made the deal. Like everybody was talking about the Joe Harris injury. Once they got Seth Curry's a better player than Joe Harris. Has been the last few years. I don't know where you've been. Joe Harris was awful last year. Awful in the playoffs. He was terrible in the playoffs. He was non-existent.
He's a zero.
Seth Curry is a better player than Joe Harris. He does more. I trust him. He's slightly more dynamic. Like I would much rather have Seth Curry. So I thought that was a huge move that they got in that trade. And obviously, if he's hitting threes, look, you already know the last name. When those boys are hitting threes, it's a different ball game.
You know the name.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I mean, he came in there fired up. Like, I think Brooklyn had a lot more to play for in that game. And then plus, you can't discount the fact that Kyrie only gets to play like once a week. So in that once a week that he's playing, he's going crazy. He's going to get his, right? Like, he's going to get his, especially coming off a 50-point game. He's like, oh, I still got it. So, like, because here's the thing with Kyrie, the narrative is always about everything but basketball, right? Everything about basketball. So when he gets a chance to play basketball and have you talk about the basketball, that's what he's going to give you, and that's what he's been giving you. He's been awesome this year. Say what you want to. I think he's averaging like 28 a game. Like, he has been awesome when he plays. It's just a matter of when he plays. But as far as those two looking that good when they play together, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. The issue is when they play together, because you just never know with Kyrie. You never know. I think Stephen A. said it yesterday. He was surprised that Kyrie didn't take time off when Russia invaded Ukraine. and he was like, I'm not joking. He's like, I'm not joking.
Come on, man.
He said he fully expected a statement. Dog. He fully expected a statement. But, like, here's the thing. If that had happened, would you have been surprised?
No. I wouldn't have.
He would have been, hey, look, the state of the world is too heavy for me to play right now. Like, he would have came with all types of shit. And it's par for the course. So, again, like, I'm not shocked that when you have those two guys on the floor together that Brooklyn is magical, because I think KD is the best player in the world, and I think Kyrie is a top 10 talent. So, yeah, of course.
Do you want to share the take you sent me? I didn't even respond, bro.
I know you did. I knew this was going to come up today. Yeah.
If you want to bring, I'm not even going to put you on. I'm not even, we live out here
because it's one of those things. It's one of those things that I like to articulate because it could be misconstrued. But what I told Sean last night is I was like, hey, do you know how we say, like, hey, Brady's the greatest of all time, right? Like, Brady's the best quarterback of all time, like, hands down, right? But Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback we've ever seen. And that's in terms of talent, technique, different shit like that. For me, let me perfectly phrase this. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, hands down. He's the greatest athlete of all time, borderline greatest human being of all time. Like, say what you want to say, right? To me. But from a skill and talent perspective, Kevin Durant is the most talented basketball player I've ever seen in my life. He's the best basketball player I've ever seen in my life. From a pure skill and talent perspective, Kevin Durant's the best basketball player I've ever seen in my life. Is he better than Michael Jordan? No. Right? Because it's not just about skill. And Michael Jordan had things that you just can't measure. And we talk about it all the time. And obviously the resume speaks for itself. But if you can name me a more talented basketball player than Kevin Durant, I'm all ears. In your 30-plus years of watching basketball, as much as I do, right? Because you're locked in. The folks that listen to us are locked in, right? Tell me who is more talented. I always say this. Remember back in the day, NBA Live 99, and you could create a player? What did you make? A 7-foot shooting guard with 99 everything. The boy is a 99 everything. 99 jump shot, 99 dribble, 99 D when he wants to. He's 7 feet. You can't block his shot. It's all within the flow of an offense. You could drop him on any one of the teams right now. You could sign him on Tuesday, and by Wednesday, he's in there dropping 30, not disrupting your offense. He's a low-volume 30-point scorer, right? Like a low-usage 30-point scorer. At the end of the day, like, he could shoot the ball a lot more and probably give you 40 in his sleep. Like, I think KD is the perfect basketball player, and I don't know if we'll ever see a player like KD ever again, and we certainly haven't seen one prior to him. So there we go.
All right.
Rebut. It's retort. Say something.
No. I mean, no, I understand what you're saying because I think the Brady Rodgers analogy is perfect. Like, Brady is the best quarterback of all time. Watching quarterback play like I've watched it and how closely I've watched it over the years, Aaron Rodgers is by far the best quarterback I've ever seen. And it's not even, right? To be honest, it's not really that close to me. He is head and shoulders, like, watching and seeing how he processes information, the ball come out of his hand, the ball placement, him being as mobile as people forget how mobile this dude was. He was like quick, fast. He used to do it all. Now he doesn't run as much. But yeah, so I get it. KD can give you.
But there's something else about Brady, right? There's something else about Brady that's just innate. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like you want to call it the it factor, whatever you want to call it. But
it. You know what I'm saying?
He wins more than anybody, and it's not close for sure. You know what the thing about? You know, when you start talking about stuff like this, I think a really key metric is how hard is it for the person. Jordan worked crazy hard on offense and to do what when you watch Kevin Durant, everything looks very effortless, easy.
Because he's so good.
Swing, pull up, bottoms, go to the basket, lay it up, plays D. That's the thing about Durant. I'm not going to say that he's a better hooper than Mike, but I understand what you're saying. He is effortless in everything he does, and he's been doing it for a decade plus now.
And he comes off injury, comes back in the lineup first game, 30.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, it's just it comes easy to him, but it's also like, I think sometimes you say it comes easy to people, it's almost like it can be a dig, like they don't have to work at it. Like KD, that is the result of a lot of time in the gym. Like a lot of time in the gym.
It looks effortless, but it's very polished and refined. Like
it's so refined. Yeah. And that's kind of what I mean. So it's not even like, and I wouldn't even go as much of like Brady and Rodgers. I feel like that some people could have an argument of Rodgers being greater than Brady, which I would obviously shit on that. But obviously there's no argument between Mike and KD in my eyes. And that's not what I'm trying to say. But when you talk about talent, when you talk about if I was creating a basketball player, when you talk about what do I look for, what is the true unicorn? That's where we've been looking for unicorns for years. That's it. It's been there for the last 14 years. This guy is incredible, and he still does it. And he comes off a knee injury, does it. Comes off a foot injury, does it. Switches team, does it. Goes into a team that's loaded with superstars, still gets his without disrupting what they're doing on the court. Like it's truly like it's kind of crazy. There's not too many players you could say that about that average 30 a game that won't disrupt what you're already doing. Like you put him on the Bulls right now, KD gets 30, and DeMar and Zach are happy.
Yeah. No, it's
you know what I mean?
There's no doubt about that.
I'll take a shot from you. I'll take a shot from you. I'll piece together. I'll piece together my 12 to
16 shots.
12 to 15 really is all I need to get busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's it.
That's it. Stop straight up. Yeah, give me 3-4 shots a quarter.
I'm good.
And I'm good. That's it.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to the NFL. Do you want to come back to the NBA, or should we just close NBA now?
Yeah, we can close NBA out.
All right. I was fighting to stay awake to watch Denver.
I was in and out.
I was battling. I was battling trying to stay awake. I fell asleep a little bit in the middle of the fourth, but then came back. I saw that. I saw the end of the man going crazy. You already know his name.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say obviously the Warriors been struggling. Something was fishy about that, and I didn't really pay attention. But the Nuggets have obviously been playing really well, and the Warriors haven't. And it was in Denver, but somehow the Nuggets were getting 2. But I didn't realize Denver was on 4 games in 5 nights. They had all these makeup games this week. They were obviously looked
the
gassed.
Spot, but it was
the spot. It was the spot. And I didn't pay attention to that. I just looked at the number and was like, wait, what? Denver's better than Golden State right now since Draymond's been out. Golden State has really been struggling. Steph's been struggling. They've been out of sorts. Andrew Wiggins is a corpse. Since he got his All-Star nod. He literally got the All-Star nod and became a worse version of Andrew Wiggins, which is special. But yeah, big win for them, man. Steph went crazy in the third. Really, it was the third quarter is kind of where they turned the game around. Steph went off in the third. Prior to that, Denver had been leading, but once he gets going, man, there's nothing you can do about it. There's no defense that can stop him, right? There's no scheme you can try to put in place to knock him off his corner. Like, if he's going and he's cooking, first off, the thing about him is, like, when he's cooking, he's taking shots you can't defend because he's pulling up from areas that you can't. You're not crafting a defense for a guy that's pulling up from the circle. You know what I mean? Like,
when he's really locked too, he's going to the basket. So
he's doing everything.
You're like, damn, I got to give him a little space to go to the basket, but I can't give him too much space because it's 3.
Right.
So that's when he's really locked in. And I
Denver
don't know
just
what
looked
to
tired
I don't know
last
what
night.
to make of them, man, to be honest.
I do.
Of the Warriors?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't fully know what to make of them, but I don't trust them. They're not better than Phoenix. Like, let's just get that out the way. They're not better than Phoenix. You know what I mean? In 7 games, they're not beating Phoenix. You still got to get Draymond back. You got to work them in. And we keep talking about like getting folks back. Yo, this is game like 66. You know what I mean? We got like 10, 15 games to get these guys back and ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So like it's a little bit easier said than done. They got a lot to figure out. And again, a big part of what they were doing in the first half of the season was Wiggins, and he has been a corpse. He's been comatose since the All-Star break. Like, doesn't want to be there, doesn't want any part. What was he? 3 for 11, 7 points last night? Come on, man. Like, you're an all-star starter?
He's gonna is him being in the all-star starter gonna work against him? Like what's my guy from Seattle, that Macklemore winning rap album of the, like, is that gonna work against him?
that was a wild comparison.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Macklemore won best rap album of the year and his popularity went down. Like, he got so much hate because Kendrick didn't get it. Is he gonna, I mean, Wiggins already got a ton of hate.
Wiggins already has
work
a ton
against
of hate,
him? Like, this guy's this is an all-star starter.
Well, you knew that was the fan vote. He plays in a major market on a super popular team that was winning a bunch of games, and they had to get a second guy in there. So that's why he got in. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he is what he is, though. Look, man, this dude has been in the league a very, very, very long time. He has had big years scoring-wise before. He's signed big contracts. The issue remains the same. He has no heart. There's a reason why when you know what I mean? Like, he has no heart. There's a reason. Listen, it's very telling. It's very telling, like, when you watch him play against either Cleveland or Minnesota.
Yeah, he tries to kill them.
He goes for like 40.
Yeah.
In his bag, doing whatever he wants, playing D all over the place, right? But when he plays everybody else, he's just a regular dude. Like, that should be enough for you. Like, obviously, you get up against your old teams and stuff. Like, a lot of guys play with extra motivation, but he's a completely different ball player against those teams.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, that's who he is. So for that reason, man, and then the guys, they're still working back Clay. You got to work in Draymond, and a lot of it falls on Steph. And if he's not fucking spectacular, they don't have a chance. Like, remember last year when they were going on that run? Steph was putting up historic numbers.
Yeah.
He was hitting 10 threes a night.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it's hard for him to do that without Draymond, because Draymond, again, runs their whole offense. So,
yeah, I wanted to make sure we touched on those 2 games last night. Those are the only 2 games on the NBA slate last night as well. Let's move over to this NFL quarterback carousel, just so we got enough time to cover off. Let's start with Aaron Rodgers. I was hurt. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought we were done with him. I thought us as Bears fans, I thought it was over. I thought we were going to see Jordan Love on twice a year. We were going to have to beat Jordan Love, and we still got to deal with this guy, Aaron Rodgers. I think it's kind of interesting that we're still waiting on the official numbers of the deal to come out. That seems kind of odd to me.
Yeah,
because they haven't tagged Devontae Adams yet.
Because Aaron Rodgers they don't have a deal for Rodgers yet.
So, but isn't that deadline for the tag up?
That I'm not sure.
Something like that.
It's close.
Because I know Chris Godwin got tagged. A couple people got tagged, but Devontae didn't get tagged, and we don't know the money.
And Devontae does not want to get tagged, correct?
Yeah,
he wants a deal. He wants a deal.
Of course not. Well, that's the interesting part I'm waiting to hear about, right? So they were already completely buried in the cap. So we have to figure it out.
The cap was terrible.
We have to figure out how they structured Rodgers' new deal, because that's going to determine how much space they have. And that's going to determine if they give Devontae a deal. But if you're Devontae and Rodgers comes in and asks you to take the tag, do you take the tag?
No.
You feel me? That's the question, right? So then he has to get a new deal, right?
Yeah.
But
Devontae Adams needs to worry about Devontae Adams and Devontae Adams' family.
But I'm saying, what if he does the bet on himself thing, has another massive year with Rodgers, then he Kirk Cousins it, and then next thing you know, because what makes you think that, like, that production's not going to drop off? You wouldn't think he's going to come out and have a massive year. I mean, the injuries always
Odell Beckham was on his way to Super Bowl MVP and then tore up his ACL in the fucking second quarter. So I mean, anything can happen, and that should always affect your money. If the money is there to go get it, you go get it. We talked about Lamar last year. What are you doing? Why are you playing on this? Why is your deal not signed?
It still isn't signed, by the way.
Still isn't signed, right? And meanwhile, Kyle Murray is trying to get a deal after his 8th game. So, like, you know what I'm saying? This is the way it goes. So if I'm Devontae Adams, man, it's fuck Aaron Rodgers. Hey, y'all took care of Aaron shit. That's great, wonderful, because that does make me want to come back. But there's other business here, and that business is my business. So you guys figure out what you need to figure out. This is what I want to get paid. Tag me, okay? That is what it is, right? Nothing you can really do about that. You still have time to work on a deal, but
you could do
still work a deal. Yeah, but I want to do. You can be like Le'Veon and not sign that joint.
The tag is tough because it's such a big sum of money that it's like, man, you're asking me. I'm passing up on 25 M's type of thing. But
Le'Veon,
he missed the whole year though.
I'm not signing this joint. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And he got paid, right?
Yeah,
he got paid.
He got like 60 M's from the Jets.
He got paid. Yeah, and then never showed up. The dropping rap albums, got fat. So,
but that's the thing, right? Because that's my question. So Rodgers says he's going to come back. We don't know the details on the terms. And then now Devontae, that's what I'm interested in now. I want to see what's going to happen with that, because would Devontae take a bullet for Rodgers and take the – I guess he doesn't have a choice, but are they going to –
Why doesn't Rodgers take a bullet for Devontae?
Well, Rodgers already told you he's not taking a bullet for nobody.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. This dude, look, man, this is why I thought he was never leaving number one, but – this dude is he's selfish, man. He's not all that shit. Don't you remember like 10 years ago after Greg Jennings left Green Bay, his sister came out and was like, yo, Aaron Rodgers is not a leader. Like, it was a whole bunch of shit coming from Greg Jennings. Like, maybe that's just who he is, man. Like, this whole process. I knew about
that Greg Jennings shit.
Yeah, they bashed him.
Greg Jennings killed him.
Was like, this guy's not a fucking leader. And his sister was like, yeah, Greg was like, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, man. This dude was never leaving. He may have wanted to leave. He just
wanted to embarrass them real quick.
He wanted to get what he wanted to get. And if he didn't get what he wanted to get, he was going to leave. But once he got what he wanted, which mainly was power, he had them signing Randall Cobb last year, right? It was clear early. Once he came back to camp, right? Once he came back to camp at the end of camp, then they got blown out by New Orleans. Then it started rolling again. Once he came back, he had everything he wanted. Aaron, you can sit down in the meetings with us. Aaron, what free agent should we be targeting? Aaron, what color do you want us to paint the bathroom? Like, he got all that power that he wanted. And then at the end of it was the money. So he got everything he wanted. Yeah, he would have left if he hadn't got what he wanted, but they were always going to give him what he wanted. They were never going to let him leave the building.
I think a big part.
He just strung it out for as long as possible to get as much as he can and to kind of rub it in their face and say, see, I want you guys to think about life without me for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Because that's not the person that I am.
He wanted them to bend the knee a little bit.
Yes. A lot of it.
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee. I am Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Fucking bow down to my throne.
Yeah. Apologize in the media. Come out in the media and tell everybody maybe we could have done things a little differently. Yeah. Apologize, and then we can run it back. So
meanwhile, I'm going to do interviews from my log cabin with Pat McAfee and speak in grandiose terms, because that's what I do. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it was. It was all posturing. It was all posturing. I've been saying it for a while. I've been telling he's not leaving. He's leaving. He's not fucking to go where? He's not going anywhere.
I think I think he did look at the AFC too. Like,
it was always a possibility.
Cool. I'm going to beat up on the Bears and the Lions.
Yeah, why would he ever leave this division? You win the division every single year. There's no quarterbacks in this division. There's no good teams in this division. You own it. You have a good home field advantage, and they can pay you more than anybody. So why would he? He was never leaving, man. This dude is a fucking narcissist. It was all about him. He just wanted the attention. He wanted to feel loved. I don't know. Like, go win a fucking Super Bowl. How about that? Hey, man, go show up in a home playoff game. How about that? You understand what I'm saying? Go lead your team to victory. We're talking about Brady versus Rodgers. Brady didn't lose all those games at home in the playoffs.
No,
never.
He's not doing it.
Not happening.
Yeah, he's not doing it.
I'm not doing it. So, I mean, like, we love Rodgers, and he makes throws that no one else can make. And when it's great, it's beautiful. But, look, let's be honest. When it comes to winning time, buddy will fold up. He'll fold up. Folded up a lot last year in San Francisco. You lost to Jimmy Garoppolo at home.
Well, the Niners own him, man. He can't beat those boys.
Can't beat those boys. The flat-billed assassin got him.
Shit, Shanahan.
Shanahan got him. Shanahan comes with the hat down. He's like, hold on, I got this guy, man. And LaFleur is his guy too. Shanahan's smacking up LaFleur. So yeah, I think after all this, man, like, yo, go win a Super Bowl, bro. Like, I don't want to hear anymore. Get to another Super Bowl. Because in 17 years, you've been to one.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see where the money nets out, because I think that directly affects Devontae Adams, and we'll see where that nets. It'd be really interesting to see Rodgers get exactly what he wants, get his money, and then Devontae gets the tag and then is on the unhappy train. So we'll see.
You know what the real quick, underrated funny thing about this whole scenario is, though? It's like, oh, we got to get Rodgers, we got to get Devontae Adams back, but we're going to have to make some concessions because obviously it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me this Packers team that had a lot of flaws last year that were covered up by Aaron Rodgers is going to come back worse? Like, they have to get rid of talent to keep these two guys, right? So you're not bringing in new people.
I mean, the cap is in shambles.
Cap's in shambles. This team, so it's not like this team is getting better. Like, this is kind of it. And it will destroy their cap for future purposes doing this Rodgers deal. So that's what it is. Hey, go for it.
We'll see. All right, Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson.
Hey, yo, bye.
Hey.
We're going to the Rockies.
We got the deals done.
We're going to the Rockies. Like,
Russell Wilson goes to the Denver Broncos it was a bunch of picks, and I'm trying to pull it up right now. Pull it up for me quick. But Russell Wilson goes to Denver in a trade. I know Drew Lock is now moving over. Noah Fant is moving over from Denver, and there's a bunch of picks involved. But this is a massive deal for the Denver Broncos. He's trying to follow the Peyton Manning framework that he did and went to Denver and kind of revitalized, had three real big-time years in Denver when he got there. It broke the touchdown record, the whole thing. Russell Wilson needed this switch, man.
Yeah.
It had run its course in Seattle. Our guy, Pete Carroll, I think they weren't seeing eye to eye. And Russell had mentioned multiple times over the last couple of years that he wanted to leave. And it kind of disappeared. Similar to what happened with Dame in Portland. Like, he's like, hey, I'm trying to get out of here. And I don't know if that's pushing their hand or I really want to get out of here.
Girl cheating 12 times, but I stayed with her because I'm loyal and I respect her from all the grind. That shit was so funny.
There's a meme Nick sent me. It's of Dame Lillard, and it says, my girl cheated on me 12 times, but I stayed because I'm that loyal, or something like that.
And I respect the grind.
It's like, and I respect the grind.
No, he goes, my girl cheated on me 12 times, but I'm still with her because I don't run from the grind.
That don't run. Yeah. So Russell was on that for a little bit and eventually was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm off this. So he's in Denver now. What do you think about the deal, the move, Russ? Is Russ still a top-tier guy? Is he going to look a little better now with some of these young weapons, Jerry Jeudy and those guys in Denver?
So here's the deal. It's Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, D lineman, 2 first-round picks, number 9 overall this year, and then next year's number 1. 2 second-round picks, which is number 40 overall this year. And
how many ones?
Next year? 2. Oh. And a 5. And they got back Russ Wilson in a 4th. Look, it's a lot to give up, man. It's a lot of quote unquote draft capital, right?
Yeah.
Which is, everybody's favorite word now. I never heard this term growing up, and now it's draft capital. Draft capital. It's some like it's a mythical asset, dude.
We should change our podcast name to Draft Capital.
Draft capital, yeah.
That's so good.
A lot of draft capital, which the draft is a fucking crapshoot, and you never know if any of these players are going, especially the later you get. You never really know if these guys are going to work out or not, whatever, right? You know what you go in the draft to get? You go in the draft to get Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So if you had to move a few picks to go get him, I have no problem with it. If you had to move Shelby Harris, I have no problem with it. If you had to move Noah Fant, I have no problem. You had to move Noah's fucking arc, I don't care. To get Russell Wilson, to get Russell Wilson in the building, yeah, that's what you got to do, because we've been looking at this Denver team saying, man, they got some nice pieces. They got a nice defense. They have a distinct home field advantage, just like you did in Seattle. But they just don't have a quarterback. And us as Bears fans can tell you right now, It does not matter if you don't have a quarterback. I have seen Hall of Fame defensive players. I have seen Nathan Vasher take back 110-yard field goals, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter if you don't have the QB.
Yeah.
Right? We talk about it all the time. They went out and they got the QB. They sacrificed some of the nice things that they had to get that, but they already have some good players. They didn't have to give up any of those young defensive studs. They didn't have to give up any of those wide receivers, and they didn't have to move out of Mile High, which is a distinct advantage. Yes, the division is loaded. Yes, you got Mahomes, Herbert, and Carr. But hey, it is what it is. You had no shot without him. You had no shot without a quarterback. And I love the fact that when they realized that Rodgers was just posturing and he wasn't going to come to Denver, they were already on this Russ deal. As soon as Rodgers signs, an hour later, they got the Russ trade going. If I'm a Denver Broncos fan, I'm not thinking about these ones. I'm not thinking about these twos. Damn sure not thinking about that 4. I am thinking about Russell Wilson coming into the building and being my quarterback, and he is a winner, a motivated Russell Wilson. That Seahawks haven't been able to protect him over the last few years. He didn't want to be there. Pete Carroll's trying to run a run-heavy offense, not letting Russ cook. Man, I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear about decline in production or none of that. Russell Wilson is still that dude. Yeah. He's going to be motivated. And now it's going to say, go Broncos. That's it.
Yeah, go Broncos.
I don't know how long, you think he's already practicing it?
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
How'd that sound?
Go Broncos.
Yeah. How'd that sound?
Yeah, you got a CEO in the building. Who they hire as a coach? My man's from the Packers.
Hackett.
Yeah, he's a good play caller or whatever.
Offensive coordinator.
Yeah, offensive coordinator for Aaron Rodgers is like, not really doing too much.
And
like
LaFleur.
It's like Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator. But
yeah,
I love it. I absolutely love it. I said it yesterday. I fucking love it. This is the move you got to make. I love being aggressive to go out and get a Hall of Fame quarterback. What are we talking about? These guys are usually not available.
He's got at least 5 years left of top.
Easy. If he's rejuvenated, easy.
I agree, man.
Like this is a no-brainer.
And Russ wants to get in that 2 Super Bowl. We talk about this all the time too. The 2 Super Bowl tier that's the tier you need to be in. If you have 2 rings, you're untouchable. Doesn't matter. No one can say anything about you.
You spend time in New York, right? Are you allowed to talk bad about Eli in New York City?
Not around the guys that I'm hanging. Not around like David Tyree and Matthias and those guys. No,
not
man.
A chance.
Not around the guys I'm around.
No, they're like you say whatever you want to. Not a chance.
But that 2 Super Bowl tier is different, man. Yeah. 1 Super Bowl tier. Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Brad Johnson has a Super Bowl.
Brad Johnson has a Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco
has a Super Bowl.
Super Bowls.
You need to get out of that. You need to get out of that muck. Then you could start really talking that talk. And that's exactly what Russell Wilson's trying to do when he's going to Denver. He's trying to get another ring so he could be in there with Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, all of them.
Yeah, not in Tom Brady's room quite yet, but yeah.
Peyton, all those guys.
Peyton's second one is stolen, but we won't talk about that.
Peyton's second one is an absolute thievery.
Heist.
Shout out Von Miller.
Shout out Von for real.
So, but yeah, that's the tier you got to get to. You gotta have 2 to avoid any of the strays that even guys like Brett Favre catch. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that Seattle thing was not. It was. He had DK, which DK is really nice. I love DK, but he knew it wasn't going in the right direction, man. He had to get up out of there.
Tyler Lockett. He needs to figure out a way to get Tyler Lockett to Denver.
And people are like, "Oh, well, he's going to the AFC West." It's like, have you seen the NFC West? Wasn't no cakewalk over there either. You got to deal with the Rams. They just won the Super Bowl. You got to deal with the Cardinals. They got Kyler Murray. You got to deal with why do I always blank on the Niners? We'll see what happens with Trey Lance. Cardinals. Yeah, that's a murderer's row over there. So he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna hop on over here. It's a new team, young talent. He's gonna be rejuvenated, and he's gonna be the man undisputed over there. So I love that deal, man. If I'm a Broncos fan, I'm doing backflips.
Yeah, no question. Shout out my guy Max Weep King. I know he's very happy.
Is he a Broncos fan?
Yeah, he's a Broncos fan. He's fired up. He was sick when they announced Rodgers, and then like an hour later, he hit me fired up again.
So he was like Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, exactly like Jerry Jeudy. So that's got to be a really bad feeling for a guy like Lockett. Or not Lockett, Drew Lock.
Oh, Drew Lock? Why? He sucks.
Well, no, but for example, say they don't go get Russell.
Oh, your quarterback. Your guys.
Your star wide receiver is basically like super upset that you're the quarterback. Basically,
well,
what he's saying.
It would have still been Teddy, though, wasn't it? Wouldn't it have been?
Well, they had to figure that shit out. It's Teddy, Drew, whoever. They both stink.
Yeah.
So like, it's still the same thing.
Teddy should go play in Vegas and complete his destiny of really covering the spread across.
You just start working with some folks and really become Teddy covers.
Yeah, I'm Teddy covers. All right, let's go. What's the line? I can do that. I can do that.
That's funny.
I can do that. Sponsored by DraftKings.
Teddy DraftKings.
Teddy DraftKings.
Bridgewater.
He'll change his last name.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
So, I do want to talk about Carson Wentz because this is my take on it. I've gone to bat for Carson Wentz. I've buried Carson Wentz. I'm on an emotional roller coaster with Carson Wentz because I've seen him be really good and I've seen him be really bad. But I just, especially last year going into it, I thought there was something left in the tank where he could prove in a good team like with a good offensive line, like
good defense, Colts,
good D, that they could be really good. And there was flashes that they were really good. And then there was flashes of him doing like egregious stuff that he's shown that he does all the time, right? This is the biggest thing for me. Frank Reich is his guy. That was his offensive coordinator in Philly when he had the best run of his career before he got hurt. Carson Wentz was going to win the MVP of the league. He jumps in the end zone against the Rams. He blows his knee up. He gets hurt. He doesn't win MVP, and he's got to come back. Frank Reich is the reason, as they had a good relationship, he was the reason that he put him in the position to succeed. He also brought him to Indianapolis. For Frank Reich to essentially give up on Wentz after 1 year of going to get him and saying that, hey, I have to go a different direction, this is not going to work, is a massive red flag to me. Because if he can't succeed with Frank calling the shots, a guy that truly believes in him, a guy that truly saw what he can do, if that dude lets Carson Wentz go, I don't see, no one's going to have more faith in Carson Wentz than Frank Reich, and Frank Reich let him walk out the door. That's a big red flag for me.
I think the even bigger red flag on that is that Frank Reich is going to be close coaching for his job this year, right? And
well, that's what I mean.
He pretty much said, I would rather try to find a new quarterback to save my job than to keep Carson Wentz in the building, an established quarterback to help save my job. I would rather go into the unknown than the known. Because what I know with Wentz is he is not that guy. They said he apologized to the GM and the owner. I'm sorry for bringing this dude in here. I thought it was something different. It says so much that literally as soon as the season was over, you heard that they were ready to move on from Carson Wentz. I mean, they were shopping him publicly. Hey, we're done. Somebody come take this guy. If you're willing to pay the $28 million, come take this guy.
A guy that they no, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
A guy that they went all in for.
Right. Yeah. And a guy that you have faith in, the coach is telling you, like, I understand you guys think that this dude can't play. He makes a lot of mistakes. Let him get back with me. Let me and him get in the lab, and I'm going to show you how good this guy can be. And for that to happen for 1 year and then him being like, actually, I fucked up. We got to move off this guy ASAP. That is very telling that
ASAP.
He's not the guy.
He's not that guy. And look, man, I get it. We all want to fawn over Carson Wentz 2018 season or whatever it was. That was 4 years ago. Since then, we have seen bad plays after bad play. The Eagles thing was a debacle. I get there were some situations in there, some things that didn't work out. But look, they got rid of him, and they made the playoffs this year with Jalen Hurts. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we talking about here, man? Like, obviously he was the problem there. Then he comes to Indy. On paper, the numbers look okay. Only 7 picks, but you remember that the Niners literally dropped 4 interceptions against them, and he had some of the most egregious interceptions you've ever seen, the most egregious fumbles you've ever seen. All they had to do was beat the Jacksonville Jaguars at home to punch their ticket to the playoffs, and that team didn't even show up and didn't score a touchdown until the end of the game in the fourth quarter. I mean, come on, man. Then you start to hear about the leadership shit. He doesn't want to take accountability. He's not up for hard coaching, which is the same shit you heard in Philly, the same shit that Peterson would talk about, right? Yeah. The same type rumblings out there. And so, he's not that guy, man. So I kind of applaud them for moving on and realizing very quickly it's better just cut bait and let's resume our quarterback search, because now it's 2 years in a row that we've tried to bring in a solution at quarterback that didn't work. Remember the year before they paid Phillip Rivers like $30 million to come in there and literally steal money. He was 80% retired. They offered him a deal. He said, "Fine, fuck it. I got 15 kids to feed. I could use an extra $25 million." You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Real talk.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm gonna tell you this. Another red flag is they did this with zero plan.
Yeah, they don't have another quarterback.
They don't have another quarterback. They're just like, we don't have another quarterback. We just know this guy's not it. So
Frank said, "I'll take the snaps if I got to."
Yeah,
get this fucking guy out of here.
Get this guy out of here.
Get him.
We don't even have another
here.
quarterback. And obviously, me and Nick aren't in the war room at the Colts, but they it's not like they moved off Wentz and announced a new quarterback. They moved Wentz and were like, "Yeah, we'll figure it out."
It's not even like Seattle, who at least got back Drew Lock in return, who theoretically is a quarterback. Like, they didn't get anything. Like, it was like, here, we don't want Heineke. We don't want Heineke. We don't want fucking whoever your backup is to Heineke. Yeah. I would have at least been like, give me a Heineke back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, we don't just get this guy off the – you're going to pay his salary? Fine. Get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Exactly.
So that speaks volumes, man. Like, that is damning to Carson Wentz. Like, it really is.
It really is. That was the biggest thing. When I heard that, and I heard that it wasn't like they moved him and then signed Trubisky, and you know where we're at with Trubisky, but they just
who apparently is going to get the bag.
Yeah. Well, there's just no quarterbacks,
and
man.
Trubisky, they said Trubisky. Well, I thought he should have looked. I said it last year. I didn't understand things like Darnold or Bridgewater when Trubisky was out there for like $5 million. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to get on here and advocate for Mitch Trubisky being a great quarterback. But do I think he can start in the NFL on a team that has a lot of other things? Probably. Do I think you can game plan?
Especially for $5 million.
Yeah, for $5 million, I'm taking not Darnold. What are we still looking for in Sam Darnold? I don't get it. That guy, I don't get it. Like, I don't know what Darnold film everybody else is looking at versus what I'm watching. That makes me think a guy who has 28 fumbles in 4 years. 19 mil. Darnold started laughing.
$19 million.
Darnold got that call. He's like, "What? You guys did what?" That's crazy.
Coming off this year, they picked up $19 million. And I get it. There's not a lot of quarterbacks sitting around,
Mitch.
But I am
Jameis.
not. I'm not giving up $19 million on a dude that's proven he's not that good. I'd much rather give someone else a shot for $2-3 million and see. This dude, it's crazy.
He can't play. Like, he literally can't play. And so, like, Wentz is better than Darnold, but at the same time, I'm looking at it from the Washington point of view, and I'm like, well, if he can't handle hard coaching from Frank Reich, what the hell do you think Ron Rivera is going to give you? Because Ron Rivera does not seem like he's a soft and warm and fuzzy, cuddly guy. He seems like one of those, like, old 80s type football coaches who's in your face and doesn't give a shit. Like, I like Rivera. I think he's going to hold them accountable. Wentz probably won't be able to pull that bullshit with Ron Rivera because he's not going. But if I'm about to call them the Skins. If I'm Commandos, Manders, whatever they are, I'm fucking. Is it Commandos or Commanders?
The Commanders.
This shit is so ass. That's Snyder's big middle finger too. He's like, I took 3 years to come up with a team named the Commanders. Fuck you guys. I thought he should just kept it Washington football team and really just stuck it to the league. But just call them the Skins, the Washington Skins. But yeah, so I mean, like, look, man, I don't know how it's going to work out over there because, again, if their defense fell off last year, but Chase Young got hurt. Hopefully, they're going to get a little bit better this year. But when you have a solid defense and a solid run game, the last thing you want is a quarterback who turns the ball over. Like, that's the last thing you want if you're trying to play a ball control brand of football, which I think Washington is trying to do, right? The last thing you want is a guy who is literally one of the most egregious turnovers of the ball in the NFL. Yeah. So that's where I'm kind of like stuck on this deal, man. I don't understand. I don't understand it, but hey, shout out the Colts for getting that guy out the building. It says a lot about him. I've been saying he's ass.
Yeah, I've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt for too long, and I mean, he's very a mediocre dude. He's not going to take you anywhere you need to go. Yeah. So we'll leave that there. Let's talk about Khalil Mack, and then we'll get up out of here. Let everybody enjoy their weekend, and we'll do the same. Khalil Mack moved to the Los Angeles Chargers for a 2 and a 6. Him and Joey Bosa are not going to be coming off the edge. The AFC West is so loaded. Yeah. The AFC West is so stupid right now. But what are your initial thoughts on the trade? It seemed to be pretty mixed reaction in Chicago on should we move him, should we not move him. I know where I stand. Where do you stand on it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Bears are closer to a rebuild than competing. So if you can get something for Mack, if you can move off of some salary, look, I love Khalil Mack. I think the first year that we had Khalil Mack, I said he's one of the best football players I've ever seen in a Bears uniform. That first year, it was special. And even the subsequent years, while the sack numbers weren't there, you still offensive coordinators still have to account for Khalil Mack. He is still 100% a part of your game plan. He takes away things that you might want to do. So as an offensive play caller, head coach, whatever, you account for him, and that has an effect on your defense, a positive effect on your defense. You look at the fact that Robert Quinn had 35 sacks this year. A lot of that is the fact that teams are like, hey, it's either Khalil or Robert. We'll let Robert get it, right? And Robert took care of that. El Roberto, that's your boy.
Puerto Rican, my boy.
Puerto Rican, that's your man.
Puerto Rican,
shout out Roberto. But, a lot of that is due to Khalil Mack's presence, man. So I'm not down on Khalil Mack, the player, but I'm realistic about where the Bears are, and we have to rebuild, and it's going to start up front. It's going to start with that offensive line. It's going to start with some skill position players. It's going to start with whatever we can do to support Justin Fields. And if moving on from Khalil Mack, getting some picks back that are going to allow us to get some linemen and some other players in here and getting some cap relief that's going to allow us to sign some linemen and other players in here, if that's the plan and if that's ultimately what what's my man's Poles is going to do, then I believe in it, man. That's all you can do. We're not going to compete in the next 2 years. And realistically, Khalil Mack's like, 31, 32. That's kind of his window, right? I don't think we're going to be competitive in his window. So let him go somewhere where he can go compete for a championship and we get the relief and we start rebuilding and find out who's going to be on this thing 3-4 years from now.
I think this is a big win for the Bears. Personally. Take all that money you're about to pay Khalil. They took all the bread.
Yeah.
Rodgers took on all the money. Take all that money that you were going to pay Khalil and invest it in the offensive line in positions that we truly, truly need to upgrade to help Justin Fields in a massive way. The only thing I would say about this Khalil Mack trade is it should have happened last year.
Yeah.
We should have done this last year. We could have got a 1. 100% we could have got a 1 if we do this last year. People were barking about Von Miller. They got Von Miller for a 2 and a 3. The Rams were, first of all, had no leverage. They wanted Von, so they got fleeced for him.
Getting fleeced for everybody.
And they had a real shot to go make a deep run in the playoffs, and they did and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The only thing that frustrates me is this all should have been done last year. The Chicago Bears wasted a full NFL season last year, smoked it off completely for no reason. Other than the fact that McCaskey didn't want to pay another coach and another GM. He completely punted the season last year when he kept those guys on. I knew it. We talked about it. Everybody knew it. It was obvious. He just didn't want to pay those guys anymore. He didn't want to pay them to sit at home, so he let them fuck the franchise up for another year.
Because they both got extensions the year before. Remember those shadow extensions that you never heard about?
Simple as that. So they had no business. This should have all happened last year. We wasted a year for no reason on the rebuild. But we're here now. It was time for Khalil Mack to go, and getting a 2 and a 6 and them taking every single dollar of the contract is a W. We could have got more last year, sure, but I'm looking at more guys to move. We said this coming off the season last year, only untouchable guys on the whole team: Roquan Smith, Jalen Johnson, Justin Fields,
Mooney.
Legitimately, and Montgomery.
I'd actually probably hold on to Komet because I feel like Nagy never really gave him a chance. I'll take Komet.
Yeah. I'll keep Komet.
Komet can play when he plays.
Komet's going to be Komet's a solid player. When he gets touched, he gets the ball. I'll take Komet as well. But all those guys are on either rookie deals or they're some of the best at their position. Like Roquan Smith is one of the best linebackers in the league, and he's young.
Yep.
So I'm definitely keeping him. Literally every other person on the team can pack up and go.
Yeah.
Our run was over. We missed it. The window was very real for us. We didn't have the quarterback play to get it done. That window's now closed. Pack up all those guys that were in that window, get them up out of town. That's it. And that's where we're at right now. Khalil's the first. I would like to see some more. I hate to put Eddie Jackson on the table, but I wouldn't mind moving him and all that bread too.
He's not good anymore. So yeah.
So yeah, like package it all up, see what we got to do.
I'm fine with it. Bears should be 100% open to business. And real quick, if you're the Chargers, this is exactly the type of moves you got to do when you have a quarterback on a rookie deal.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly.
Win now. Taking as much salary as you can, bring it all in. Herbert's that dude. He's the truth. Get everybody you can because you got 2 more years of him on a rookie deal, 3 more years. Love it.
And I'm going to tell you this. Bears fans, don't be hurt if Khalil Mack goes over there and gets 15 sacks.
He might.
But I'm going to tell you this. He wasn't going to do that here. He just wasn't. If you watched him towards the end of the year before he got hurt and the year prior, there was a lot of times where he knew he was watching the game kind of like we watch it. This team is garbage.
Okay, offense is ass.
Offense is ass. This team is weak. I'm here.
He's never played with a quarterback.
On 3rd and 8, you're going to see me.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I'm going to be chilling. And
any Nick,
and any Nick that I got, you don't look for me to play.
Yeah, don't look for me.
I'm not going to be playing. So that's it. And so he wasn't gonna come in here this year and have a year like Robert Quinn. It just wasn't gonna happen. So when he goes out to LA and kills it, don't be surprised and don't be sad. Just know we got the 2, we got the 6, and the rebuild is on the way.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll leave it there. No Catch-Up Sports Talk via Chicago. A little Friday edition, man. I hope everybody enjoyed. Make sure you guys stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. For Big Nick the Quick, I'm your host, Sean Little. No Catch-Up Sports Talk via Chicago. We out here.